Hello, welcome to this intro edition of Tiger Broadcast. I'm Lauren Holdmeyer.
And I'm Selena Dotran.
In this edition, we will take a look at one Lee Summit High School student who does not have the average pet.
And we will see how one former LSHS graduate made an important career decision. All that and more on this intro edition of Tiger Broadcast.
Many of us have pets: dogs, cats, fish, and even birds. This first story has Selena figuring out why one Lee Summit Junior has all of those pets, and one that many of us would not even consider having.
Lee Summit High School junior Erica Williams is one of the 4.5% of Americans who own a reptile.
I'm not really sure. I kind of just wanted a snake, like out of nowhere actually.
I was happy because I wanted another pet, and my mom didn't want another pet.
I was outvoted. I had no say in letting her get a snake. Her dad okayed that.
Not only do they have one snake, but they have two snakes.
We decided to get Kobe first, and the day that we went to pick him up is when my dad was like, well, we might as well get this one. Dave is our family snake. He's a desert ball python, and he's the smaller of the two snakes. It's pretty simple.
Yet, it's not always that simple.
Okay, so Kobe, sometimes he can shed and it's super simple, but other times all of his skin doesn't come off, so it's like super hard, and then we have to take it off for him basically.
Even though most of the family wanted Kobe and Dave, they were not fully prepared.
Erica's snake has gotten out of its cage twice.
I was coming home from practice and it was time to feed him, and I did not see him in his tank, and at first I thought I was tripping, but I definitely wasn't. So we had to set up a whole bunch of traps, and like a couple days later is when we found him.
It's also a challenge for Erica's friends.
None of my friends really wanted to hold Kobe at first because of how big he was, but they kind of wanted to hold Dave at times.
I've tried to hold it before, but it didn't go well because she wears it around her neck.
Taking care of the snakes takes on a whole new meaning when it comes to feeding.
We're supposed to eat once a month, and for Kobe, we just found out that he thinks he's supposed to be breeding during the winter, so he does not eat at all during the winter time. But Dave is ready to eat whenever, so...
Not only is the snake's eating habits out of the ordinary, but so is what the snakes eat.
They eat live rats. After we get the rat out of his tank, then we bring it up to Kobe's tank and we just set it in there. Usually it takes like 10-15 minutes for him to actually start moving around and going to eat, but other times if he's hungry, then he'll just go after it.
Clearly, the Williams family has adjusted to additional hissing. Signing up for Tiger Broadcast.
If your child wants a snake, make sure your child's going to be able to take care of it.
I'm Selena Dotran. Last week, many of you guys celebrated the teachers in your life by sending them a nice message. Reporter Lauren Berry found a teacher of a different kind that celebrated something other than grades.
Soccer is a common outlet for kids of all ages, but for one local KC soccer club, it has become more than just a game.
So Youth Rise is a nonprofit youth mentorship program that aims to reach at-risk youth, mentor them through education and soccer.
Ann Murphy, the founder and coach of Youth Rise Kansas City, came to the role when a friend needed help. Wendy Loke, a friend of Ann's, was trying to find a way for some of her students to channel their emotions. She asked Ann to step in and help.
They were good kids, but they just didn't have any drive with school, but they love soccer. It was just one of those days where you just kind of like, what the hell? I said, yeah. Went to the school talking about drugs and gangs one day. We ran the first practice, and I realized they're very good at soccer.
Challenges on the field weren't the only issues the team faced.
It's like running through really thick mud.
Because there was no manual, it wasn't planned, so it was kind of just learning from your mistakes. We sucked so bad at first. We lost like 15-0 every game.
One way Ann is able to quell with those negative feelings is to develop personal relationships with each of her players.
Kids that have argued with me in the middle of a futsal court on how it doesn't matter because they're not going to live past 18, so it doesn't matter what they do. And they're just here, to kick ball and have fun.
I wasn't really good at soccer, but then once I came here, she started helping me. At first, before I joined this team, I didn't really have that much opportunity, but now I got opportunity to talk to coaches, go tryouts and stuff.
There aren't that many people that have dedicated so much time and effort into the Kansas City community as Ann Murphy. Her efforts are truly inspiring. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, this is Lauren Berry.
Obviously, no sports have occurred in the last 2 months, but that didn't stop Colton Yonker from compiling some favorite Lee Summit High School sports highlights.
Again on the track.
That's it for Hour 3. The next segments will be from Hour 6.
Planning for your future can be daunting for some, but not for this Lee Summit High School former graduate. He had a solid plan laid out. That changed in a matter of seconds. Reporter Emma Perry explains why.
LSHS alumnus Tyler Perry knew from a young age that he wanted to become a pilot in the future.
I first realized that I wanted to become a pilot when I was probably 14 years old. One of my dad's really good friends was a pilot for Southwest, and I always thought it would be pretty cool to fly my family around for free.
As luck would have it, Tyler found out he could learn right here in Lee Summit.
It starts off with a free airplane ride, and it is free. Once the student has taken the ride, they are given a certificate that has a special code on it that they can get on a computer, and they can study the private pilot ground school.
Tyler went on to become an aviation student at the Lee Summit Municipal Airport. He logged almost 30 hours and was well on his way to becoming a pilot. That's when turbulence hit.
The windshield actually broke in half and split my head open, which I had 5 stitches, which wasn't too bad.
During the takeoff of one of his practice runs, the plane unexpectedly took a nosedive. After the accident, Tyler was healing physically, but not so much mentally.
Just the traumatizing accident that actually happened was kind of the harder part for me to get over. Kind of hard to sleep throughout the night, the next couple of nights, but I mean, I was able to push through it. It basically was a wake-up call for me. I quickly realized how fast that your life can go away just like that, and how it would affect others in the matter of seconds. One thing I did feel like it changed my perspective is to never really take anything for granted anymore, because you're never guaranteed tomorrow.
While having a strong faith and a supportive family, Tyler was able to come out on the other side. His plan was to study aviation, but understandably, he made a different choice.
After the accident, I kind of talked to my family about it and made the decision that I will probably not continue to fly, just because everything that kind of happened, it was pretty traumatizing for not only me, but a lot of others as well. God took control and led me down the right path for my career. Now I'm going to Longview for my first 2 years to get my associates in business, and then I'm going to transfer to UCM and get my bachelor's in business as well.
No matter what path life takes him on, Tyler definitely has a story to take with him to encourage him and others to be successful.
Not a lot of people can come out of a plane crash and say they lived through it, so I think I have a pretty cool story that God just kind of touched on my heart.
Reporting for Tiger Broadcast, this is Emma Perry.
Kansas City is considered the heartland of America and home to many people who give back to the community. Lauren Holdmeyer met one of those people and found out what they did to give back to the community.
The best part about my job is giving parents the hope back that they haven't had for a long time.
Director Terry Whipple knows a little about providing hope for many families here in the Kansas City area. She runs a nonprofit program that trains dogs to help those who have autism.
Therapy dogs work with many people, and there's actually different levels of therapy dogs as well. You've got the therapy dogs that work with like pet partners or pets for life, and those therapy dogs can work up to 2 hours a day, 3 times a week.
What some may not know is that there are 2 types of dogs that assist families.
It takes us 2 to 3 years to train each service dog. But for our professional therapy dogs, it's usually 18 to 24 months.
Terry has first-hand experience with service dogs.
Our daughter, Adriana, has the first autism service dog here in Kansas City. I had to go to Oregon to get Grady.
This program is definitely unique.
And nobody else in the nation does this.
Come to find out, Paws for Autism not only works with those who want to work at their own pace, but also those who may not necessarily know how to train.
One of the things that I and other trainers have found when we work with those who are on the spectrum, or especially those on the higher end of the spectrum, they have what we call the dog whispering gene. And they can communicate to the animals on a level that we could only dream of. But they have no idea how to train. So we want to teach them how to do it, which gives them more independence and less dependence on community services.
Several clients have asked how Terry is able to support her program.
And if people ask me, how do you do this without getting paid? Because we are 100% volunteer. And I tell my families, I'm like, there will come a day where I turn to you and I just tell you payday. And it's those paydays where it's suddenly something made a big difference, where the child is finally able to do something that they couldn't do before.
That said, Terry finds other ways to support her company.
We are in the process of doing fundraising and trying to find a location to set up our training center.
It's clear to see that Terry has established a community of hope. Signing out for Tiger Broadcast, this is Lauren Holdmeyer.
Throughout this trying experience, our healthcare heroes have been working tirelessly on the front lines to help those being affected by COVID-19. Instead of seeing smiling faces in the hallways, this is the new normal for patients and workers in hospitals worldwide. We talked to Amber Davies, one of our frontline nurses, to see how this virus has affected her job.
My name is Amber and I'm a certified registered nurse anesthetist, or a CRNA. And what I do is I provide anesthesia. I do that every day and I love my job. It is an interesting time to be a CRNA as we are a frontline provider helping to care for some of our sickest patients. Socially distancing is the only way that we're going to slow the spread of this virus. And that is so important for you, and it's important for me and everyone in our community. Resources are limited, and resources are expensive, and we all are feeling the expense of this virus and what it's doing. And we're trying to work safely and work efficiently to take care of our patients. So please do your part and please socially distance so I can come to work and I can do my job safely and we can get through this together and come out stronger.
In this next sports segment, Luke Rule takes us back to some of the best moments from the school year.
Coming in at number 6, we have Nicene Brewer. Tommy Locke finds Nicene out on the right. Nicene breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles before driving the pile to the 1-yard line. Number 5 is Nick Beach and Caleb Souders. Caleb whips one in from the top of the box and Nick goes up and over the keeper to put it away. Our number 4 spot is Landon Klaus. Landon gets a pass and on one touch he rips it top bins from about 25 yards out. And that's definitely not the last time we'll see that from Landon. Number 3, we have some basketball action. On a fast break, Max Weisner throws one down and has everybody going crazy. The number 2 spot is everybody's favorite duo, Caden McGuire and Bryson LaRue. Caden steals the inbound and finds Bryson, who drives, jump stops, goes behind the back, and Caden easily drains the 3. In our number 1 spot, and probably one of the best moments of sports all year, is Cam Hahn. Park Hill South clears the ball to Cam Hahn, who hits it off the volley and over the keeper, and he's got everybody, even Weebing Guy, stunned by that one. And I'd say that's the perfect way to send your team to state.
Our current reality is a challenge for all of us. Can you imagine actually being on the front lines? Elena Twinter shows what it's like for one Lee Summit community nurse.
We all know that the world around us has changed dramatically in the last month. School has shut down and now we're using virtual learning. Stores and businesses are closing. Sports seasons are getting canceled. Even things like graduation and prom are being taken away. We know these unprecedented times have been hard on everyone in one way or another, and that it's incredibly hard to participate in social distancing and stay home. But it's our job as a community to protect ourselves and those around us from the devastating effects that come with the infamous coronavirus.
Other people should social distance because it's helping not other people have to suffer going through this, because even if you don't think that you have it, you might be a carrier and you might be causing other people to suffer.
Why I think it's important that we continue to stay at home is because there are so many unknowns. We don't know how this virus is going to react, and I feel like it's better to be safe than sorry and safeguard as many lives as we possibly can. So please stay home.
COVID-19 virus is a respiratory infection, and that means that it is spread by way of coughing, breathing, sneezing from people to people. And by social distancing, we reduce the chance of that happening. We reduce the transmission.
I realize that social distancing is so difficult, but it's honestly one of the most selfless and bravest things that we can do right now.
I stay at home because I have aplastic anemia, so it's very hard for me to fight off infections or diseases like rather than the other person could. So that's why we stay home, so I'm not exposed to other people who may have it.
Thanks for watching this intro edition of Tiger Broadcast.
For sports packages and more, go to www.tigerbroadcast.com.
And follow us on Twitter at TBTV8 Tigers and it's Sports TBTV8.
Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your week.